Hello, TrYumph Nation. We are live for our TNL show. Hollie O'Brien here. Mr. O'Brien is missing. So if you find him, let me know. No, I'm kidding. He's not in the show for right now today. I actually have a special guest. Which way is it? This way. Perfect. I have a special guest, Kurt. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to. During this show, we like to do different interviews. We like to share different things for you guys to get value while you're here in TrYumph Nation and go over different topics. So if you haven't seen any of our shows, please go back and in our Facebook group, type in TNL show, and you're going to see a lot of different categories and different things that we've talked about to help provide you value. And we want to be here to support you. So my name is Hollie O'Brien. I'm your host for the TNL show tonight. And we have an interview on when real life happens, a story of overcoming and how to get unstuck with Kurt. So without further ado, Kurt was just sharing a little bit with me on his story. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to write this down and take notes because, guys, here's the deal. You're going to learn that you're not alone because there's a lot of people out there that have gone through things that you've gone through or even similar. And he's going to share with us a secret on how to get unstuck. So, Kurt, would you please share with us a little bit about who you are? I know we've been friends since 2013. He was one of the original triumphers with our group training. But share a little bit about you and how we met.
Yeah, hi, Kurt Gleason. I also go by Sweat on the leaderboard for obvious reasons, for those of you who know me. But Hollie, I think we've known each other. I've known Matt even going back, before TrYumph started back to Lifestyle Fitness, right, in 2008. What? Yeah, so we trained over there. I did all the crush camps over there. So I've known Matt, and I've trained with him this is about 15 years I've known him. So thanks for having me as a guest. And so I'm just about to turn 65. Wow. It's like Matt kind of posted that. I'm in my 7th decade. I made a major transformation. And so I have been a gym rat all my life. I've gone to different gyms, different places, different sports over the years. And was original member of TrYumph from 2013 to 17. Went to Orange Theory for a few years, and then all of a sudden the pandemic occurred, and everybody kind of stood down, wasn't going to any facility. So I bought a Peloton like everybody else, right? Pretty cool. I can work out at home. Got the programming, rode the bike, and also one thing to add in, I had been a long time distance runner, marathoner. So between, weight training, fitness training, running, training, tennis, a lot of things, I never had any issues with weight. I was kind of where I wanted to be. I could eat what I wanted and everything's good, but then life changes. Right before the pandemic, I was unfortunately a passenger in an Uber and was involved in a hit and run accident. Yes, I'm almost on the way home. We got hit by a hit and run driver. Fast forward, had to stop running due to the lower disc damage in my lower back. Now I'm home with the pandemic. I'm working at home. I'm a real estate attorney. Lots of work to do. Lots of opportunity to eat at home. No more running. No more fitness training at a facility. Doing the Peloton, and Peloton's really great. I still use my bike, but it's not the same type of training that we get at TrYumph. Yeah. Not running. You're not in calorie deficit. And plus, when you're home, you eat lots more. And sometimes I'd complete a project and do a little victory lap over to the kitchen. I also live near an ice cream store, Lulu's Ice Cream in Indian Shores, which didn't help me because late at night I'd get restless. They're open until 10. Quick trip to Lulu's 2 or 3 nights a week. All this is contributing to weight gain that I never had. So fast forward, went on a vacation in January to Turks and Caicos, fabulous all-inclusive resort, ate and drank everything for 7 days, came home, and I said, saw a picture of myself. This is not the guy who was a lean runner, right? Yeah. So I said, I'm kind of stuck here and I need some help. And I know that there was one guy who could help me. So I texted Matt And he texted me back a brief survey and kind of what I wanted to do. We set up a Zoom. And I came in and I said, got to make some changes here. I mean, this is motivated by me wanting to make a change, dropping some weight, getting back into clothes that don't fit. And for a guy who never had that issue for the most part, I mean, I was probably always in a calorie deficit running. I was not in a calorie deficit. I was in a calorie surplus and I was stuck. So I needed to make a change. And so got with Matt, went through the transformation program, got really excited to do it. And actually on my first day for my first class, I was so excited to get going. I pulled out my trash tray in my kitchen, built-in trash tray, and put all the stuff that didn't belong in my kitchen in there and pushed it down so hard. I think I posted this on the TrYumph page. I pushed it down so hard I broke the bracket. Oh. That's a guy who's motivated, right? Throw your stuff out and break the bracket. So
you were determined.
I just put it aside. I pulled out the rubber trash liner, pulled it out, and I said, I'm not going to fix this till I get to where I want to be. I left that as a reminder in my kitchen. So for the last 3 months, I had my 90-day transformation program, and the results are phenomenal. I listened to Matt. I changed the plan. My plan, which was number one, not eating the junk like the ice cream, the Tate's cookies, the donuts, things that I used to reward myself with after running or working out or just completing something. Done. Number two, I'm a person that I know how to cook. I'm not but that's not my strong suit, right? So now I find out about rebuilt meals.
Yes.
I have done other meal plans. I've tried different things. Freshly. Okay. There's a couple other ones I've tried. Like Rebuilt is amazing because not only is the food delivered to TrYumph, but it actually tastes like real food. It's phenomenal. It's like, please, like there's 4 different categories of food. Like, so that changed my life around. And then, the plan that comes with the counseling from Matt is, when to eat, the intermittent fasting, all the things that make sense in terms of getting into a calorie deficit and not feeling hungry. And then going to the classes. Like Matt said, go 3 times a week. I'm there 4, sometimes 5. And I do it at a time that's convenient for me before I work. I get there at 7 o'clock and I'm done and I'm ready. So I know that's a long intro about me and kind of my journey and what happened, but the results are in. 6% decrease in body fat. So I went from 24 to 18. I lost 16 overall pounds. 14 of those pounds were fat. Like, man, I was carrying around that. And I actually, on Saturday, I did my kind of weigh in and consultation with Matt and results. And I actually went out to dinner. I didn't overdrink. I did stop at Lulu's for ice cream, and they have phenomenal ice cream, but it was a non-event for me. I could live my life without it. I hadn't been there for 3 months. They're like, where have you been, man? I've been making some changes. So I think it's kind of, for me, it was a switch that I needed to turn, and I made the pivot, and it's great to be back at TrYumph, and I'm just getting started. I have some other goals that I want to pursue, and I appreciate you having me on as a guest to share my story.
I'm just like, I've got all these notes because I've got so much that I want to unpack and talk to you about, because this is huge. And what I love about what you did, Kurt, is you made that switch and you didn't go back. Matt talks about this all the time about when you are a caterpillar and you become a butterfly, you cannot go back to being a caterpillar, right? So You made that switch in your mind. You said, I want to do this. And you had enough. How many times in the chat here, how many times have you guys seen a picture of yourself and you're like, oh, snap. Whoa, how did I get here? Guys, you're not alone. Literally, Kurt, his whole life, he's been an athlete. He's been a runner. He's been someone who works out. You're not alone and you're not invincible, right? And that's okay. And don't beat yourself up when you see a picture and go, how did I get here? We have your back. We have a community here for you that can help you get back on track. And Kurt has been with us for a really long time, right? And he wanted to try different places. That's great. Awesome. We want people to try different things and do different things. And then he decided to come back because he was like, okay, enough is enough. I need someone who knows what they're talking about, someone that can help me fast. And I don't know if you caught this or not, but Kurt is turning 65, right? So how many
next
times?
Month, 65. Like, oh my God. You know, some people don't want to talk about age. Like, to me, it is what it is, right? I'm 65, but, you know, I think, you know, it's going to happen to all of us, right? You know, I
would be bragging. Like, dude, you're 65, man. And people literally, Kurt, I can't tell you how many times people said, oh, well, you know, I'm 50, so it is what it is. And I'm like, good night. My husband's 55. Look at Kurt right here. A number, age is only a number, and you can actually feel younger than what your actual age number is. And what I love, Kurt, that you just said earlier, you said, I lost 16 pounds, but 14 pounds of that was fat. If you go back to previous episode, either the one, Matt will have to put in here what episode it was, but he talks about how important it is that you're not losing muscle mass. So he didn't lose 50% muscle mass and 50% fat. Guys, it was 14 pounds of fat. Right. And then he's lost 16 pounds. He lost 6% body fat. You know, and you're still enjoying life. You went and had ice cream. You didn't overindulge because it wasn't like, wow, this isn't my everything. Like, you found something that satisfies your soul that's beyond food.
I think it's just making smart decisions. And the only other thing I'll share is that, you know, when I had this accident, you know, it was a big blow to me because, you know, the running community, I mean, those are my people, right? I've been training for 10 years with people running races. You know, you have a camaraderie. I know these people now, but it's not the same, right? I volunteer for races, but I was like, okay, I've got some limitations, right? I mean, I was the guy that could do a jump rope. I could do jumping jacks. Like, okay, I do a step jack now instead of a jumping jack because I don't want impact. And I think that's the thing that kind of, when I talked to Matt about, like, I can still come and do things. But if you have a limitation, we all have limitations, right? I mean, we're not all Olympic athletes. We all have issues, whether it's an injury or something that we have to alter. That's okay. So that's why if you hear the coaches all the time, they'll give you 2 or 3 options to do things based on what you need. Or sometimes they'll even come up to me and say, hey, do you need another customization? Because they know my injury, right? So now that I've started, you know, back on this routine, you know, my back would typically be sore. And I have a foam roller and a stick and I'd roll it out at home. But like now that I'm moving more, my lower back isn't sore like it used to be because that's what you need. You need activity to move it around. So that's a thing. A really important thing is if you're thinking about maybe I can't do it because you know, people will say, well, okay, he's not running to the dumpster and back or running to the picnic table. He's walking. So what? Right. You know, like that's this is not like a beauty contest when you work out, right. At TrYumph, you know, like you can do what you want and nobody's like said, all right, dude, why aren't you doing a jumping jack?
No. Oh my gosh.
Your own thing, right.
Right. Right. I mean, you can use your limitations as barriers or you can use them as bridges, you know, and that's what you've done. You didn't say, guys, we just tell people you can slow down, you can take a break, but please don't quit. Please don't quit. And you haven't, right? And you slowed down for a little bit, but you came back. And my curiosity, I actually listened to Matt had a video on something that he was doing and he was going over all his credentials and things that he's done and all that he's learned. And I'm like, gosh, it's just, this is the man I fell in love with. Like he is just one of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life, but he also cares deeply about people. And he cares so much that he spends, this man, the amount of books that we get delivered to our house for him to study and research, and, you know, he takes the guesswork out of everything. And you don't have to spend the hours and hours and hours doing all the research because he does it for us. So hiring a coach in general is really smart. Coaches hire coaches. But like, why Matt? Like, why did you come back and say, okay, you know what, out of the millions of coaches out there in the world, you know, why would you come back to Matt?
You know, well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, the guy really cares, right? I mean, he's not just kind of talking to you and nodding his head and not listening. Right. He's an active listener. So, you know, I've known him for a number of years. I trained with him. I don't know. Do you remember the Yukon you guys used to own in 2008?
Yes.
I pushed one out in the alley behind in crush camps, right?
Yes.
So I got results in years past. And then again, you know, I remember when it opened up TrYumph at Bardmore. And that was kind of an emotional time for him, right? I mean, he was very moved to say, you know, and he thanked you and everybody else, said, okay, we've launched this because this was his dream, his passion. He wrote a book about it. So it's nothing other than somebody who has a passion to, you know, deliver his message and watch people benefit from it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people who are like that are opening themselves up, that are committed to, you know, to help people accomplish their goals, you know, and that's the one thing I think that's really stands out if you get to know Matt. And so he's a smart guy. He went to the Air Force Academy. He's a disciplined guy, right? He knows how to plan. He knows how to execute. He knows how to deliver. And that's what I want and always want in somebody who's going to coach me, right? So I'm really good at certain things, and certain things I need help on. I'm going to spend the money and reach out to a coach, and like, it's a gift to myself. So I always say to him, like, thank you for sharing your gift of fitness, and all the coaches there, right? Because that's what they're committed to do. And so I always felt like the environment at TrYumph, it's not a big box, impersonal place. That's, you know, it's not people throwing around weights and grunting and whatever. I mean, it's a pretty, you know, safe environment. If somebody's listening and I say, man, I just, you know, I don't want to go in there. I don't want people to see how I look or how, you know, how I do this or that. Like, nope, that's not how people roll at TrYumph, right? Yeah. So like, now I'm coming back after a hiatus. I'm heavier. Like, I'm going to a new place. I had to find it on, right. It's the new location. Like, okay. But like, I came in there first day and I felt like I was very comfortable, because even though the people had changed, but there are some people I've know there that have been there for a while, but the vibe hadn't changed. It was the same feeling when I walked in that it was all positive, with people kind of doing the same thing. You know, they're trying to accomplish their goals every day, and they are accomplishing their goals. So that's the constant, that from 2008, now 15 years later, he hasn't changed his focus, but he's changed his arsenal. He's got a lot of more toys and things he's put into the studio. A lot more now technology, videos that I could watch and listen to kind of get started, and a plan that actually helped me, you know, formulate the plan. So to me, that was kind of the, you know, once I decided to do it, you know, I just did it. And it's not hard to follow a plan if you trust the plan and trust the training and trust the people that are going to help you.
Yeah. And it's like, it's when you walk into a place and you feel like you're family and you feel like you're home. And I love the fact that you just let us know, like, it's consistent. You felt like it was family before, and you walk back and you still felt like family. So there's not that weird like transition that sometimes.
Right. Can you still see me? I'm thinking.
Oh, you're frozen and I hear dinging.
All right. Hold on.
That's okay.
Because if need be, I'll go on my iPhone and get in that.
Oh, okay. No worries. See, this is live television, guys. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat because I can see them. If you're just tuning in, I'm interviewing Kurt. He is one of our members at TrYumph Fitness and Nutrition, and he's been with us for a really long time. So if that's not proof in the pudding that what we're doing works, there you are. I was feeling the if that's not proof in the pudding on we know what we're talking about, I don't know what else is. But Kurt is 65 years old, or going to be 65 years old, and he trusts us for a reason. And I love that we're doing this interview because we want to hear from real people. And we don't actually talk about what we're going to talk about ahead of time because we want authentic answers. And Kurt's just been sharing how, you know, he feels like he's at home. And I love that you just said, you walked in, we've been able to do different things with the gym, but we also are online now. And that's what we're on right now, TrYumph Nation Live. So some people here, Kurt, are from all over the United States, and they don't get to come into our gym. You know, the people that are in the Fargo, Seminole, Clearwater area, put in the chat that you're local, because we'd love to invite you into our space and into our home, and you'll get results just like what Kurt has. You'll also get a family of people who care, and probably care unlike any other place you've been to. Am I saying that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great community, and you've really taken it to another level. So I'll even throw this out. Anybody in here wants to chat with me offline,
yay!
I'm going to give you my phone number. You can put in the chat box, whatever, 727-423-2005. 727-423-2005. If you want to email me, you can text me at that number, or you can email me at kurt.gleason@gmail.com. You know, I know sometimes, and I've given presentations, sometimes people may say, I don't know, I don't want to go on and say anything or put in the chat box. Is this guy for real? Yeah. It's not a paid endorsement. Like they asked me to be on it. I was like, okay, like whatever you're going to talk about, I'll talk about. But, you know, Hollie just said, you know, talk about your kind of your why, right? You've heard Matt talk about the why, like why did I want to make a change? Because I gained weight and I didn't want to look like that anymore, right? And that was my, you know, whether it's 1 pound or 16 pounds or whatever, that was my why. Or some people don't want weight loss. Maybe they want, they're training for a sport. Maybe like I was a runner. I used to train TrYumph, not for weight loss, but I did it to complement my running. So people train for different reasons. People have different goals. My goal is probably different than others, but you know, I'm really happy to share it because my journey and kind of what I did, because it was successful and nobody made me do it. Matt didn't beat me up. He didn't, you know, send me text messages and
where are you?
It was like, you know, this is what you should do. And if I had questions along the way, I would ask him. It was a pretty simple, you know, execution. I think it's kind of the hard part was for me saying, okay, what I'm doing over the last 2 or 3 years is not working. Like, so if it's not working, don't keep doing the same thing because you'll get more frustrated. So, you know, the picture moved me to call them and get reacquainted, but it's been a blast. And I've dropped a lot of sweat in that studio. That's why you see me sweat on the leaderboard.
I love it. And you've dropped a lot of sweat. You've dropped some weight. And I love that you said not everyone's here for weight loss, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Some people are here for community. Some people are here for knowledge. Some people want to feel better. And I'm going to ask, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is like, okay, weight loss aside, you know, energy, you know, what else, like, what do you feel like? Because I know there's a significant difference when you start eating healthier and you're on the right path for your body. Like, how do you feel?
So what was interesting for me was, you know, I knew that my diet had gone way off course, right? Like I knew when I was eating things like, why did you go to the grocery store and say, I'm going to buy some Tate's cookies and only eat one?
Okay.
It doesn't work.
The whole bag is gone.
You eat the whole sleeve, right?
Right. Okay,
now you're going to go back the next week and buy some of the same stuff, right? Like, so once I cut that out, I mean, Gatorade, you know, it's sports drink, but it's filled with a lot of sugar, right? Once I started, like, I was mindful, drinking more water, like those foods are inflammatory, right? So my body was inflamed. Once I stopped inflaming my body with the intake of things that I can read are inflammatory, then you feel better, right? So like in the first couple of weeks, I think it was after 3 weeks, I dropped like 7 or 8 pounds, like right away, because I wasn't throwing garbage in my body, right? Even ice cream, which I have a weakness for, 4 times a week, right? There 1 minute and 30-second walk down my driveway to Gulf Boulevard, open till 10. Doesn't get any better, right? But then I got kind of feel good and then not so good and maybe sweat a little bit. Like, I shouldn't be doing this as often, right? So once I started getting the results and then seeing, the in-body scans, I do them maybe once a week, every couple of weeks, kind of see what my results were. That motivated me to get more results. And then, ultimately, I had to go to a memorial service last Friday. I put on a suit that I probably couldn't have easily put on a while ago. Made me feel good. It's like, okay, there's some results there, right? So we all have different wardrobes, man. We all have things that, like, our sweet spot clothing and maybe some clothing that's for other days or other times. But I wanted to wear this suit and there was no problem. So I feel pretty good about that.
Wow. Okay. So do you feel this was simple or complicated to do?
I think once I made the decision to do it, it was simple to follow the plan. Right? I mean, there's days when you get up, you say, wow, I'm tired. Do I want to do it? Yeah. It was like, it's the execution part to me is really the fun part. Like, I look at everything like this transformation I went on, like as an adventure. I made it fun. I was like, okay, I'm going to listen. And once you have the buy-in, whatever your goal is, the buy-in, and I liken it to, like a professional sports team, right? I mean, if you prepare, everybody kind of wants the results, right? But it's the real secret, I think, is preparing for the results and then the execution, right? The results are always going to come through a thoughtful plan. And, like, to me, the ideas and the goals kind of get rolled into the plan. That's the part that took some time to really focus. Like, am I really going to do this? And am I going to commit to do it? And once I kind of made that pivot and turn, like, it was easy and is easy for me. Some days are harder than others. That's not really the point, right? It's kind of like once you're there and you're going to give yourself the success, and you can do that by relying upon yourself to follow the plan. And this part of the plan is relying on others to guide you. That's why there's coaches in fitness and in business. And you go to different people to do different things that have expertise that I don't have. That's why you pay people to help you or ask for advice, right? I mean, we all do that.
And if you're going to pay money, you might as well pay for something that works. This is proof it works. It's effective. It's simple. And I love that you said, make it an adventure. I want to challenge you guys, people that are on here that are watching. I know we've got some new people tuning in. I know you can't see the comments, Kurt, but people are saying, way to go. Love this community. Excited that you're here. Enjoy the workouts. Agree. Like, we've got a lot of people that are just really excited that you're here sharing your story. But like I said, make this an adventure. Right? What do you want to do in your life? We have a roadmap to success. We just want to invite you along to that journey, right? And we have something that works. We've got living proof right next to us. But this group right here is a free group. So just tune in, lean in a little bit further, and get all that you can from this group, because we are trying to offer you value just like we do at TrYumph. That's why we open this group. We're like, man, I wish there was a way that we can provide all of this, but to more people. And guess what we did? We have TrYumph Nation, and now we're able to provide that. We also have a more inclusive group where we go into more detail on the things that Kurt has been talking about, Matt talks about. We actually are doing a demo after this on rebuilt meals, on how simple it is to, if you don't like cooking, on to make your meals simple. So we do go into great detail and other things. So if you're interested in any of the things that I said, let us know and we'll reach out to you and share with you. But there's always a way. And I feel like Kurt did a really good job tonight to share with you above his age, above the injuries that he's had. He's had COVID. He left TrYumph, came back to TrYumph. I mean, you've had so many different things that you could easily have said, well, I don't, I don't know. You said enough is enough. And I want to feel good. And I'm going to go to the right people to get it done and get it done fast. And it's going to last. Yeah. I even see in my notes here that you referred this program to a doctor, an MD doctor. And are they with us with TrYumph now?
Yes. So my doctor friend is actually a pulmonologist who really, he's a brilliant guy. And he also like saved me during COVID. Like I had COVID really bad in 2022. Okay. And not only is he excited to be at TrYumph, but you know, he's got a schedule that on a 12-hour shift isn't conducive to eating a really balanced meal. Right. So I said, you got to check out these meals. And again, I don't get a cut out of Rebuilt. Like I have done a lot of food plans, you know, Fit Life, Freshly, other places. Yeah. But these meals was like 4 different categories, and they gave out some samples. I'm like, wow, they change every week. So, you know, I come in Saturday morning, I pick up a bag and I have my meals for the week, my main meal. And that takes a lot of stress out of, you know, for time. Yeah. The meals are really tasty. And then 3, I'm not going to the grocery store buying junk either, right? I mean, I do go to the grocery store, but you know, one of the things is that I do the intermittent fasting, and I also I do some protein smoothies. Matt gave me some great recipes for those.
We have a good recipe. Those, right? Yeah, we have a good recipe that we posted on one of our TNL shows. Sorry, keep going.
No, those are really good.
Yeah.
So that really helped me. But back to the doctor. I mean, we have a few physicians of different disciplines at TrYumph, right? And they're all in because they know that the results will come. And so he's thanked me many times for introducing him to TrYumph and to Rebuilt.
Yeah. Here's the deal, guys. We work with lawyers, doctors, scientists, teachers, nurses. We work with time-starved, purpose-driven people. And a lot of those people are business minded. There are people who are entrepreneurs, people who are in professional business situations where you're stressed, you don't have a lot of time. That's just who we work with. And I love that we have those type of people because Matt's the real deal. I'm allowed to say it because I'm not Matt sitting here. Like he's super humble. And I'm like, honey, your certifications are off the charts. What you do, what you read. And I'm so proud to be a part of this. And I'm so proud as a wife and a business owner to be a part of this journey. And I'm so proud to be able to serve people like you, Kurt. And I definitely want to give you a chance if there's anything else that you wanted to share. But I did want to let you know, like, we honor you and we honor what you've done to get to where you are. And we just want, I got goosebumps. We just want to share that with more people. So if you're in TrYumph Nation and you have a friend that you want to invite in to be a part of this journey, it's completely free. Join our group. We want to help you. And as you can tell, Kurt's had amazing results, and he's not the only one. There's hundreds of people. And like he said, it's simple. And all you need to do is lean in, listen, apply a few of the things, and then you're going to be off to the races. So is there anything that we missed, anything that you want to say to sign off, to just encourage someone to just lean in and say, hey, you know what, let's give it a chance?
Yeah. I mean, it's, if you have any doubts about, like, is TrYumph Nation for me? Mm-hmm. You know, or sometimes, you know, we worry about maybe what others think. I do too, right? Like we're all self-conscious, right? Am I a certain size? Am I a certain height? Am I too fast? Am I too slow? Like, people make judgments. TrYumph is not a judgmental place, right? It's a really safe, easy vibe there where there's all shapes and sizes, right? There's all people of all ages.
Yeah.
Like nobody says, hey, what's this old guy doing in there trying to keep
no.
That's not what people say about me. They're like, wow, you know, he's doing what he had to do. Like when I used to run, you know, people would say, I'm, you know, wow, I would run faster than people maybe many years younger than me because I trained for my success, right? Yeah. So I guess what I'll finish up with saying, like, if you want to make a change, if you want to do something, like if that voice is talking to you,
yeah,
listen to it because it's going to keep circling it around till you actually answer the voice and have a call to action. And it could be really simple as like, hey, calling Matt, calling Hollie and saying, listen, I want to have a conversation about what's possible for me to make a change. The next part of it is then when you're going to do it, don't worry about what others think or say, or people say it's too expensive or too this or too that. It's what you want to do. And if you want to do something, just do it, execute on it, and do something for yourself and not be measured or held back by what you think others will think or what the world wants you to do. You got like one chance to do it. This is the chance to do it.
Yes.
Right. So that's the message that I'll share is because, you know, sometimes, you know, like I've done this in the past and other things, you know, we kind of put up speed bumps, why we can or cannot do things. Those only delay the decision that you know you need to make. And now that you make your decision, it's a gift to give to yourself. And when you give the gift to yourself, don't worry about the speed of the transformation. Be excited that you're out on the road enjoying the adventure or the journey and being around the other people that are going to help you do it. And I think that's the one thing that I really, now coming back to TrYumph, that I really treasure is that, like, I'm around people. I don't know them all personally, but I know there's a lot of respect and there's a lot of focus we're all focused on the same thing, which is doing something good for ourselves in a very positive, respectful environment. That's why I'm a member of TrYumph Nation. Back 2.0 again.
Yay!
Right?
Give yourself the gift because you're worth it. And if you're watching and you're saying, well, I'm not worth it, I'm going to say you are. You are worth it. And give yourself a gift of feeling better, a gift of health. I did a show today in my Shift Happens show. If you don't follow me on Facebook, Hollie O'Brien, go back and watch Shift Happens. It talks all about this. And it's really, this can be your journey. And you can get these same, like, Mr. O'Brien's here.
How awesome is this girl and that guy?
Mr. O'Brien. Wow.
This is a whole show.
Good job.
Well, shopping for our coaching call.
Coaching call. I love it.
I did grocery shopping for a whole week in 15 minutes, and I'm going to show you how to cook and make it simple.
Simple. I love simple. We should do a grocery shopping demo one day.
We will.
We will. You hear that? We will. So, guys, we're real people. I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now. I'm not all dolled up. There's a reason that you feel welcome here. You're home. We're family. Kurt just went through that. I explained it. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I know it's hard and you're very, very busy. So I just want to say thank you for doing that. And we just super excited to see just where everything goes and all your goals that you're going to achieve.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. And how many people do we have on the?
People go in and out. So a lot of people watch it later. We've gone from 4, 5, 6 people that are watching live. A lot of people watch after. And then what I do is I go back and answer any questions and, you know, just help people.
Well, it's been nice to share and thanks for everything you guys do for me and everybody else. I know it's a huge commitment and you know, that's our heart. It's really admirable what you do, Hollie.
Heart and soul, my friend. We love it.
All right.
So, okay. Bye guys. Thank you everyone in the chat. Say thank you, Kurt. Thank you for joining us and we'll see you at the gym.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Y'all have a good night. I have to go prepare cooking for our next event. So thank you guys for joining and we'll see you next week on the TNL show and on Monday, Magic Pill Monday with Mr. O'Brien. Okay. Have a good night, guys. Bye.